Hello, everyone. These intros, man, like intros are hard. If there's an intro pro out there, let me know. Welcome back to the Going Zero Waste YouTube channel. I'm Kathryn Kellogg, and today we're gonna finish up our series, part 4, which is recycling is broken, because this video is gonna be my favorite one, because this is about why I have hope for the future and why I think we can save recycling. We can save recycling. Yes, so I just want to talk about some of my ideas about why I think this ban on our recycling is important and why I think it is good. In one of the earlier videos, I talked about the fact that in the United States, we have single stream recycling when many parts of the world have separate stream recycling. So instead of putting all of their stuff into one bin, they separate their stuff out into separate bins, and this helps keep everything clean. So the reason why I think the ban is good is because, can you imagine in 2019 having to tell people with all of the climate stuff going on, because the one thing that people typically hold on to is their badge of honor of being a good environmentalist is I recycle. And then now imagine being told we're not recycling anymore. I just don't think that's gonna fly. Like this day and age, I don't think that's gonna be okay. I think there'll be a ton of outrage. What this means is that we will probably move to a separate stream type of recycling. We'll probably have different bins or one bin sectioned off that clearly puts what goes in each side. My bin is actually separated here in California. I have a paper bin and I have a can and metal and bottle tin, bin. Oh, good Lord, I've been saying these words too much. So I actually have a separate stream recycling for paper to keep it dry, and then for the bottles to prevent the paper from getting dirty. It's not hard. I think it would actually make it easier because I think it would take a lot of the guesswork out of, is this recyclable? But if you had like 3 bins and you're like paper, metal, glass, and that was it, then recycling gets easier, cleaner, and less contaminated. So I think that's where we're heading. I've also been really impressed with a lot of like the stuff that current waste management companies are doing. Something I loved that I saw at the Waste Management Phoenix Open Sustainability Forum that I went to in January was they were actually tagging their bins if they thought that you were doing they have cameras whenever they dump the stuff into the garbage truck, they can see what your recyclables are, and they can see if it's something that's really contaminated or something that's really good. And if you're doing a good job, they'll put a little tag on your bin that has a smiley face saying, good job, keep it up. And if you're doing poorly, they will put a frowny face, that is so sad, on your bin, and it'll let you know that you need to do better. And they'll give you tips, and it'll tell you to go to the website so you can check it out. Because I don't think people want to do bad. People want to do good, they just don't necessarily know they're doing bad or know where to go to find the information. So I think it's a brilliant system. I'd love to see more of that. Also, in general, now these are big dreams. So I'm gonna talk about some of my big dreams, which is we need, you can hear this bird. Okay, forgetting the bird. We need legislation that will keep things consistent. What blows my mind is like, because recycling is a business, each business gets to handle their business however they want to. So that means that if I'm in Berkeley, California, my waste management is hosted, taken care of by the Ecology Center. If I'm in San Francisco, my waste management is gonna be taken care of by Recology. If I'm in Vallejo, California, my recycling and waste is also handled by Recology, but what they accept in Vallejo is different than what they accept in San Francisco. And then if we go out even further into the Bay Area, the waste management is taken care of by Waste Management. So it just depends on where you are. It varies from city to city, county to county. Sometimes it feels like street to street. Like, it is not consistent. And so I think it would be great if we could get some consistency, if we could have some overhaul sweeping legislation that no matter where you are, this is how it's done. And this would help so much with keeping things clean and not contaminated. Other thing that I'd really like to see, composting worldwide. Another thing I would like to see is legislation mandating that all washers have filters on them similar to dryers to catch these microplastic particles to prevent them from going out to sea. This has nothing to do with recycling, but we did talk about this a bit in the last video. So this is just something that I would like to see, and I'm just brainstorming different ways that we could have, more and better legislation to hopefully protect the planet. Those are just a few ways, but at the end of the day, I do have a lot of hope for recycling. I do. I think also it would be really great if people would get together from different companies, and I know this actually is happening from the forum that I went to, and they pick a few materials. So instead of being able to pick 100 different materials that designers use for their products, instead saying, okay, if we know that only plastic number 1, 2, and 3 are accepted, we need to talk about the numbers of plastic, what they actually mean, and whether or not they're actually recyclable. Let's say we pass this legislation, right? We pass this legislation in the state of California. We are recycling now plastic 1, 2, and 3. Then people who are designing products can say, great, well, I know that there are really robust markets for plastic 1, 2, and 3. Actually, truthfully, there are very robust markets for plastic 1 and 2. There are a lot of domestic markets for plastic 1 and 2, and that's another thing I think will be great, is seeing more domestic markets open, so that way we can, recycle the products here and then make the products here, and then hopefully have a really good, robust system for that. So we know plastic 1 and 2, very recyclable. Then we can present that to the people who actually design the products and say, look, plastic 1 and 2 are very recyclable. Let's make the entire product out of this one material so that way it can be recycled. One of the main problems we have with things like Tetra Paks or milk cartons or these other products, that chip bags, granola wrappers, all of these things are multiple materials layered on top of each other. Coffee cups, they're lined with plastic, right? We are taking these materials and we are just layering them, which makes it difficult for them to be recycled because they're not one type. So if we could go to designers and go to companies and go to them and say, make it out of one material and then we can recycle it, I think that would be a lot better. And my last point, since I have been rambling now for 4 videos, corporate responsibility. That's the 4th one, corporate responsibility. And we're starting to see more of it, and I, for one, am excited. So as recycling goes into turmoil and all these companies have green initiatives that they would like to do, if they can't actually have their product recycled, well, that's not good. And the consumer doesn't like that. So what is the solution? The solution is to take responsibility for the product that you have created. Yes, I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this everywhere, because this goes back to reuse, right? Reuse. And I'm very excited and very hopeful about Loop, which you may or may not have heard of, but basically a whole bunch of corporations were like, I guess we'll give this a try. So they're creating very sturdy, reusable containers for their products that can be refilled and reused over and over and over again. So I think it's great that we've been saying, hey, we want to see more reusable packaging and less disposable packaging, and that they're stepping up and they're working on it. So that is why I have a lot of hope. I hope that you were able to gather some good knowledge from this video of me kind of rambling, but that's why I have hope for recycling. If you are interested more about why I think recycling is broken and the problems that it's facing today, please check out the other 3 videos. Give this a thumbs up, press that red subscribe button to be notified when new videos are coming out, and I will see you next week with a new video. Cheers.